Creating and inserting a table. In the past, building complicated tables has been a difficult task in any page layout program. Thankfully, InDesign CS4 now makes building tables easier than ever. In this tutorial, let's see how to create tables in InDesign. To create a new table, we have to make use of the Type tool, because tables in InDesign are created inside a text frame. Using the Type tool, let's click and drag a new text frame. Then, from the Table menu, choose Insert Table, or you can use its shortcut keys Alt-Shift-Control and the letter T. This opens an Insert Table dialog box, through which we can define the number of body rows as 6, and columns also as 6 by clicking the up arrows. The other three options, such as header, footer, and style, will be discussed in later lessons of this chapter. So, let's ignore those for now and click the OK button. A table gets created inside our text frame. Let's zoom in to 100% by pressing Ctrl and 1. A table is nothing more than a grid made up of horizontal rows and vertical columns. Each area of grid intersection is called a cell. Now, once the table is created, we can insert our type cursor inside a cell and can start adding text by typing away. As we type, the row in the table automatically starts expanding to fill the text. We can navigate through the cells by using the Tab key. When we wish to increase the number of rows and columns in the table, let's place the cursor at the last cell of our table and start pressing the Tab key. You'll now watch the rows and columns getting added inside our table. Please note, using the up, down, left and right arrow keys from the keyboard, you can navigate towards the left, right, and top and bottom of your table cells. Let's now see how to import a table. Before, let's delete the table from this page. To import a table, let's open the Place dialog box by pressing Ctrl and D. Here, let's select the table Word document and click the Open button. Clicking the loaded cursor helps in importing a table from a Word document to InDesign. Now here the table is filled with a white color, so we could not see any data present inside the table. So let's select the entire table by using the Type tool, and then select the Default Fill and Stroke. We can now see the text inside our table very clearly. When we reduce the size of our text frame using the Selection tool, the table gets overset, and that is indicated using this red plus sign. To create a threading, let's click the cursor on our outport and then click our cursor at the bottom of the table. Now there is a thread created between these two frames. When we reduce the size of the first text frame, the data in it starts flowing over inside our next text frame because they are threaded. Thus, it is possible to thread text frames containing overset tables and repeat any existing header and footer rows in our table. Now by this time you should have a clearer idea of how to create and add text inside a table. In our next few lessons we'll see how to select, adjust, and apply header and footer to a table. Adjusting and selecting a table. In our previous tutorial we saw how to create a table, but for now let's see how to select and adjust the rows, columns, and cells inside that table. Here in this document page, we can see a table imported and placed already. Any kind of editing task inside a table is done using the Type cursor. So let's press the letter T to access the Type tool. Here in this table, we can see the words English and Science having a break in them. To adjust that, let's hover the cursor on this column line and then drag them. Doing so not only increases the width of the column, but also extends the table out of its text frame. Dragging a column by holding the Shift key will help us in moving only that selected column, whereas other columns remain still inside the table, as you see now. Likewise, we can adjust a row inside our table by holding the Shift key. Anytime while working, we can add or insert rows and columns inside our table by using the Insert command. To insert 5 more rows at the end of this table, let's insert our Type cursor at the end of the table. Then from the Table menu, let's select Insert and then press Rows, or press Ctrl 9. Here in the number field, let's type the number of rows 5 and then we can choose the place as below, and then click the OK button. Here at the end of the table, we can see 5 more rows newly added. Similarly, we can add a column to this table. Now to do that, let's right-click the mouse button and select Insert, and then choose Columns from the Content menu. Here in this box, let's set the number of columns to 1, and choose the direction as right, and then click OK. A new column is created towards the right-hand side of our table. To delete this empty column, let's select it by using the Type tool. And then we can go to our Table menu, select Delete, and choose Column. The selected column is now deleted from our table. Now let's select the empty rows from the table by using our Type tool, and then right-click the cursor and select Delete, and choose Rows. Now you can see all 5 empty rows deleted from our table. Please note, table options can also be controlled using the Control panel and Table panel. In InDesign, we can select a table, cell, rows, columns, or all of the above by using the Table menu Select command, or by using the Type tool. Let's now see the selection by using the Type tool. Hovering our cursor over the left-hand side of the table and clicking it helps in selecting an entire row. Likewise, hovering our mouse on top of a column and clicking it lets us select an entire column. At any time while working, when we wish to select the entire table, let's hover the mouse on the top left-hand side corner and click the cursor. This lets us select the entire table from the page, as you see now. Tip for you here, pressing the Escape key by placing the cursor inside a cell helps in selecting that cell. Now while working with tables, you can make use of the Insert, Delete, and Select option right from your Control panel, Table menu, and finally, even through your Context menu. Try using all these options in your documents while you create a table. Editing table. As I said in our earlier lesson, table in InDesign can be controlled using the Table panel options. Now here in this tutorial, let's see how to edit the table by using the Table panel. First of all, let's insert the Type cursor into our table, and then by moving on to the Window menu, let's select Type and Tables, and choose Table, or we can just press Shift and F9. This opens a Table panel, which contains various options within. At present, the number of rows used in this table are 17, and columns are 8. By using this number of rows and number of columns option, we can increase or decrease the rows and columns used in our table. Clicking the up arrow increases the number of rows in our table from 17 to 20. Now to delete the added rows, let's type a value of 17, and then hit the Enter key. This opens an Adobe pop-up window asking us whether or not to delete the row. Let's go ahead and click OK. The added rows are now seen deleted from our table. Here at the top we see a sentence, Mark List Report of 5th B. To make this sentence spread in the entire row, let's select the row by using the Type tool. Then from the Table menu, let's select the Merge Cells command. Now the cells in that row get merged into a single cell. At times during working, we can unmerge the merged cells by going to Table menu and choosing Unmerge Cells command. This will help in unmerging the merged cells in our table. But for now, let's undo this step and keep the cells merged. The text in the table can be aligned to the top, bottom, and center of a cell by using these 3 align icons. To align the sentence from bottom to center, let's choose this Align Center icon from the panel. The text is now aligned to the center of the cell. Alignment can also be done using the Align options in our Control panel. To split a cell vertically, let's double-click the Type tool inside a cell, and then go to Table menu and choose Split Cell Vertically command. The cell is now split vertically into 2 equal portions. To see it more clearly, let's zoom into that portion to 200% by pressing Ctrl and 2. Similarly, we can split a cell horizontally by using the Split Cell Horizontal command from our Table menu. Now let's fit back our page to Window by pressing Ctrl and 0. Here in the Table panel, we can see 2 more options, Row Heights and Column Width. Let's insert the cursor in any one of the cells. The height of this row is at least 1.3 picas. This means, while we start adding text inside the cell, the height of the cell starts extending, and the value in the field changes. To have an exact row value, let's select the Exactly key from the Row Height drop-down list. Then, in the Nearby Data field, let's enter a value of 1 inch, and hit the Enter key. Now, the row height is fixed constant, so the text typed inside the cell has got overset. The overset text in a cell is indicated by using this red dot. When we delete the typed text, the overset icon disappears from the cell. Besides row height, we can also have an exact column width by using the Column Width field. A quick tip for you here, rows and column space can be equally distributed by using the Distribute Rows Evenly and Distribute Columns Evenly commands from the table menu. Also note that text in a table can also be edited by using the Story Editor window. Now, I'm sure that by this time you will be clear with all the above table editing techniques. Now, besides all these options, there are a few more options in InDesign through which we can format the tables and cells in our documents and can save them as table styles. We'll discuss those in greater detail in our advanced chapters. Convert to table and convert to text. Sometimes we'll import text that we would like to have converted into a table. Fortunately, in InDesign, this is quite easy to do by using the Convert Table and Convert Text commands. Convert Text to Table is a process through which a text portion in our page is converted to a table format. Let's now see the use of Convert Text to Table command. Here in this document page, you can see an imported text placed earlier. To convert this text to table, let's select the text inside the text frame by using the Type tool. Then, from our table menu, let's choose Convert Text to Table command. This opens a dialog box which contains column separator and row separator options. Here, the columns are separated through tab, and rows separated using paragraph. Let's set the options to its default. If we've created a table style inside our document, then by using the Table Style drop-down list, we can assign a style for our table. If not, let's ignore this and click OK. Now you can see the text in the frame converted into a table. Please note, if you change anything except a paragraph symbol from the row separator, then use the Number of Columns field to choose how many columns there should be in your table. Equally, we can convert this table to a text by using the Convert Table to Text command. Convert Table to Text is a process through which a table is converted into a text format. To set this table back to text, let's once again select the text inside this table by using the Type tool. Then from our table menu, we can choose Convert Table to Text command. This opens a dialog box which contains a column separator and row separator. In the previous dialog box, the columns were separated through tab, and likewise rows were separated using paragraph. If needed, you can choose your own separators in both fields, but for now, let's set it to its default and click the OK button. Now we can see the table converted into text, and they are separated by using tabs and returns. To see those hidden characters, let's go to Type menu and select Show Hidden Characters command. Voila, you can now see the hidden tabs and return characters clearly inside this frame. You can also use Microsoft Word and Excel to create text and spreadsheets. The tables created by both Word and Excel can be very rapidly imported inside InDesign by using the Place command.